Where am I? Here we go. There we go. Oh, something's happening. Can you guys hear the song or no?
No.
No. What is going on with my skills here today, Chelsea? Say hello to everybody while I figure this out.
Hey, everybody.
There's Kurt.
I, of course, am in my car again. How is everybody doing? Hey.
Yeah.
What's this saying? I can't read this.
Okay, so.
Oh, so we don't have permission to capture Chelsea's song.
Oh.
Okay, it's too deadly.
I'm right here. You have my permission.
Well, can you contact Google Chrome for us?
And
give them written permission? Well, we're not having any luck sharing your song, Chelsea. I'm sorry. It's like the internet gods are against us right now.
Okay, well,
you'll have to play it live.
Yeah, my granddaddy always said that the devil was always on my back. I sound like the actual, studio version.
There you go.
We got Bill LeBlanc, aka Relic, joining us this week. He's got some big news, and we can't wait to have him on here with you. But we got a little bit to talk about first. I think Kurt wanted to talk about the slap heard around the world last night at the Oscars.
Don't pin it on me. I was talking about a Bannock slap, like that you used to get, sometimes from your cookum or your auntie, somebody, if you're kind of, doing some crazy stuff. But yeah, no, that was definitely wild,
From a woman's perspective, Chelsea, would you want your man to have gotten up on stage in front of the whole world and slapped another man?
Absolutely.
But I was always taught that men don't slap other men. I was taught that shit ended in a gunfight. That's like challenging somebody to a duel. That's what Charlie Murphy said.
I was taught when a man slaps another man, that's the highest disrespect that there is. I don't know, but I grew up with some really rugged people. not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, yeah, it was definitely, it was the biggest story that we seen. Everyone's seen, on Facebook, on the whole thing. There was back and forth on whether it was right or wrong, but
whether it was real or not.
It definitely got some interest. It actually looked like Chris Rock was a little bit dazed there. He was like kind of laughing, but he kind of like
he was probably pretty surprised that he just got slapped on the Oscars.
Yeah, in front of like not only all the people there, but all the people watching.
But I do want to say that it's not okay to just go up and slap somebody. It's Will could have dealt with that a little bit better. I think that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got you.
I definitely think it made the Oscars more interesting and more all the hits were there, that's for sure. That's so crazy.
But yep, that's all I have to say.
It is like we're trying to do the whole violence is not the answer, and of course it isn't, but sometimes there calls for a moment to be like, you've already made jokes about my wife before. I had enough. This is enough. And you did it publicly in front of thousands of people live, probably. And I'm not okay with that. And can you really blame the guy for snapping? I mean, alopecia. I have an aunt who has alopecia. And that's not, like it's really heartbreaking to hear what her story was like. And then, I had no idea that Jada had alopecia. So think of it, looking at it at a different point of view in that way. I feel like he's justified a little bit, but at the same time, I'm like, it's Will Smith. He's He's like a really great guy. And for him to do something like that, I think that's the biggest shock, is that it came from Will Smith. If it were like Eminem, you know what I mean? Everyone would have been like, ah, shit, see, you talk shit to Eminem. That's what happened. I think
Oh, I'm going to invite Relic in here because I'm sure he has something to say on this before we move on. So, what's up, Bill?
Really?
Dante Gakio, yes, I was talking on my show on the Raven today, shameless plug to 89.3 The Raven and Win Speaker Media, that I think could have been staged, because I talked about the Bannock slap and how Nuckum's Bannock slap is harder than Will Smith's.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know it happened. I slept through it, but I woke up this morning and that's all I read all day on every social media feed. So, I mean, it's hard not to mention it. I mean,
it was totally weird how it seemed like he was down with the joke. He was laughing and smiling about it. And then it turned into something. So I don't know if there was like a fight between him and his woman or what was going on there, but it was definitely made for like some serious TV, I guess. Yeah, lots of hits.
Oh, that's the neighbors. I'm going to close the window, I think.
Oh no, I think that's
Oh, is that Chelsea?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
No, that was my wife on the Alexa announcement in the background.
Oh.
But speaking of which, I think that, like you said, when Will Smith laughed at first, I think there was a look, probably the wife look from Jada.
Oh yeah.
There, you can tell she wasn't impressed.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we've all got that look at one point in our lives, right?
Yeah. Shout out to my woman. What's up, baby?
Did you guys see the meme on Facebook where they had all the people's reactions? And then somebody put Ernest Munias in there too?
Oh no, I didn't see that one.
Oh man, there were so many memes that actually had come out, from it. I mean, I can't imagine how all parties involved felt the next day, seeing how it blew up and the whole thing. I seen the apologies come out and the whole thing as well. So definitely it made for some serious conversations around the table.
Well, I know that last year the big talk was that there wasn't enough African American identity at the Oscars, and I think they made up for it this year.
That's definitely
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
That's one of the things that people were talking about, I guess, that was the unfortunate thing is bringing that kind of light to not only men, I guess, like being from the African American community and having that stimuli and that whole it's made for interesting conversation all around, that's for sure.
I think another perspective that we can look at this, and this is just because I'm kind of the devil's advocate too, is like if you look at Chris Rock's point of view, he was telling jokes, and now is it going to be okay for anybody in any comedy club when they're upset at a joke to walk up on stage and slap a comic? Because whether we like it or not, comedy is an art form, right?
Yeah, and again, part of the comics when they go up there is roasting people. But I think that it was just a line that was crossed, roasting someone about their medical condition, right?
Yeah. And that's part of what I think people agreed with, saying that definitely was a tasteless joke. But it was very interesting too after he slapped him, how it continued with the yelling and the swearing and stuff and kind of being threatening from the table there, so it was definitely, I think, just somebody losing their temper, he just
lost it.
Yeah.
We've all, we can all talk that violence is not good and whatever, but out of the three of us men, can you honestly say you've never been in a fist fight in your life?
Nope.
No.
You never have? No, I have.
I mean,
I mean, I'm not proud of it.
I
It
mean,
was,
I can't say that I haven't.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
you
like
know,
I'm not proud of it, but of
especially,
course,
like with the
I played in
alcohol and
bars
stuff,
for 20 years.
know.
You know, like I played in bars for 20 years. People get in your face, things happen, and people snap. I've seen it too, so I understand where he was coming from, but I doesn't necessarily mean I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. No, I come from the uncles that still.
Yeah,
I come from the uncles that still punch even today. It's just it wouldn't have been a slap. It would have been
No.
a punch. And I'm not saying that that's better. It's just we come from a different
time.
different way. you
Like
know?
time changes, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
I'm
you
like
either grow-
talking here, and I didn't even realize that my mic was off.
Oh shit! Were you talking?
Yeah. So funny. Oh my god! I was
Well,
like,
you got some glare where you're sitting there, so I couldn't even tell that your mouth was moving because there's glare kind of where you're sitting there. So yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
So chime in. Let us know what you have to say, Chelsea.
Oh, the moment's passed. It's good.
Okay.
So let's move on from that.
From
I'm
Will
sure.
Smith, yeah.
I'm sure everyone's heard. You know this all day.
All day.
You know. So, but we have Relic on here today, and we've seen that you have some nominations and some stuff. Can you tell us what's happening in Relic's world with music, and tell us a bit about what's going on?
Yeah, I took a little bit of a step back from recording and performing for the last year, and I took an on-air position at 89.3 The Raven in Edmonton. But what you're seeing on screen is my most recent nomination at the Native American Music Awards, otherwise known as the NAMMYs. We were super fortunate to pick up 4 nominations this year in New York: Best Pop Recording, Best R&B Recording, Live Performance Video, and Americana Video. So kind of all across the map for me, which is kind of, my music these days. It's kind of a little bit of everything. And there's 2 days left of voting. So voting closes on the 31st, I believe. So there's probably 2.5 days left. So we're trying to get everybody to go to namalive.com and vote for Relic in those categories and all your favorite artists. We got lots of Canadians up there. Indian City's in there. Twin Flames are in there. Melody MacArthur's in there. Julian Taylor. Lots of good Canadians in there. And we're trying to bring some hardware back home to Canada.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's awesome. So, what have you been writing and stuff? On your time off and that. What's been going on with writing and maybe recording some new music?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of writing, a lot of just kind of very stripped down, basic writing at home in my home studio. I got a few songs together already, ready to go to the Bake Studio at Catalyst. And looking to hopefully put out an album for next year. Again, it's a little bit of a fusion, like a lot of my music is. It's a little country, it's a little blues, it's a little hip hop. And other than that, we got some shows planned for this summer that we haven't quite announced yet, but I guess we can announce them now. We're playing Sasquatch Gathering this summer. We're playing North Country Fair this summer. We're playing a couple days at K-Days down in Edmonton at K-Days this summer. So not a lot of shows, less shows than we're used to, but we're definitely going to make them count, seeing that we haven't been playing much over the pandemic.
Yeah, that has been a struggle for a lot of us. That's kind of how this started. We say it every week, but we needed a creative outlet to get together and share music and stories with our friends because we spend so much time apart, but it's a good way to get together and catch up because we all have busy lives. And why don't you send us a song, Bill?
Sure. Don't mind the background noise. I got birds and babies and all sorts of stuff right in here. It's supper time, so
There's your next song. I got birds and babies and all sorts of stuff.
Birds, babies, and bannocks.
There you go.
This one's called The Page.
Bill, you got it connection.
Uh-oh.
You don't want to hear what I'm saying, but I'ma say it anyway. I've held it in long enough. Don't want to spend the rest of my days by looking back. Hey, what we might have had. I'm sitting next to you, sit back and laugh about those crazy times we had. How it all another page for some of our days. I just want someone to talk to. And to make me feel alright. I never, and all I want is to make it through the night. Got enough on your plate without having to worry about those words out of my mouth. Don't got much in common, but a love oh so true. I'd change anything and I'd do it all for you. Thought it was the end, but it was just the start of another page. The story of some of my days. I just want someone to talk to. And to make me feel alright. I never intended to bother you. All I want is to make it through the night. Let me tell you what I know to be true. All the things I've been going through. What are we going to do? You and I at a crossroads right now. A show and prove without a moment to lose. Things were said but are left unheard. And the words that we can't take back. Few times now I've forgotten all the problems. Something about me just feels rotten. After all these years, how we end up here February. All went wrong. You and I with a smile in the backyard holding hands. Yeah, that's all I want. Prove them all wrong. Turn it all around. Put the pieces back in place. I'm back in the glory. Laugh at the story of the page. Some of our days. I just want someone to talk to. It'll make me feel alright. I never intended to bother you. And all I want is to make it through the night. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hey, right on, brother.
Right.
Good tune. Good tune. Good tune. Good tune. Yeah, no, Trent went to go get a mic cord for Chelsea here. So
Okay.
he'll be right back. But that's really cool. That's awesome. And it's awesome to see that you got some shows booked this summer. And and tell us a little bit about your day thing. Tell us a little bit about your transition a little bit in this last since the pandemic started.
Sure. So about a year and a half ago, I was approached by Windspeaker Media here in Edmonton. They run CFWE Radio and CJWE in Calgary. And they told me that they were firing up a pop rock and Indigenous radio station called 89.3 The Raven. And they had taken a little bit of time to get it off the ground because of the pandemic. It kept pushing it back. And then they had me in mind for, at first they said the morning show. And, I always thought that I wanted to get into radio, maybe retire in radio as a musician and do an on-air sort of thing. But they literally messaged me 2 days before their launch on February 1st. So it was about the 29th of January last year. And they said, hey, I want to host our drive show on weekdays from 2 to 6. And, I couldn't really turn it down. It's not often that somebody gets an on-air position offered to them and just landed in their lap. And they're a super, super bunch down there. Jeremy, Bert, Candace, Shannon, the whole team that we have down there is just amazing. So I'm on from 2 to 6 weekdays, but I'm also hosting some of their country shows on the weekends. So it's definitely a different experience for me, you know, kind of being on the other side of the mic. But one of my main reasons for taking the position was because I really wanted to help showcase other Indigenous artists, and they've really given me that platform to host interviews and to have live guests and to play a lot more Indigenous music. So it's kind of nice, you know, being able to give back after all these years and help out other artists at the same time.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's quite the transition, you know, from going from, you know, doing performances and live stuff to you know, doing the radio thing. I think it's cool though. I mean, as artists, we always try to expand in our art and try new things. Even myself this year, I'm kind of getting into film, and you know, I've always kind of try to expand it as an artist. So, you know, it's important for all of us to try.
And I think a lot of people in the pandemic, you know, like those of us that are creative people, we've tried to find different outlets and things to do and different ways to be creative. And just like you, I kind of learned how to do some video over the pandemic. I've really taken my language journey seriously in the last 6 months and started learning the Cree language in a very structured way, as opposed to, you know, like how we grew up just knowing numbers, animals, and swear words. And and it's been exciting. It's been an exciting journey for that too. So like the pandemic has had a lot of drawbacks, of course, but there's been a few pluses. You know, I had a baby over the pandemic, so
wow.
How old are you?
I'm 40. I'm not saying. I'm 40 something.
That's all I gotta say is, how old are you? No, I'm just kidding.
They want to know, Nick, I'm 46.
I just turned 47.
Oh, I guess my wife says I'm 45. I don't even know how old I am.
Bill, everybody asks me why I don't speak Cree, and I have to always remind them that I'm not Cree.
That's a good enough reason.
Well, it's really good to have you on here today. You know, share another song with us, and
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
I thought I'd try something a little different. You know, from a guy in the hip hop world. We lost a legend in the hip hop world just about 6 months ago, and he was not only in the hip hop world, he was also an actor and a voice actor. And he was also the host of a television program called Yo Gabba Gabba. And I idolized him growing up. He was just an interesting character. He was always doing positive things. And his name was Biz Marquis. So I thought we'd do a little bit of a tribute to him. Have you ever met a girl that you tried to date? Then a year to make love, she wanted you to wait? Let me tell you a story in my situation. I was talking to this girl from the U.S. nation. The way that I met her was on tour at a concert. She had long hair and a short mini skirt. I just got off stage dripping, pouring with sweat. I was walking through the crowd, and guess who I met? I whispered in their ear, come to the picture booth so I can ask you some questions to see if you're 100 proof. They asked her name, she said blah, blah, blah. She had 9-10 pants and a very big bra. I took a couple of flicks and she was enthused. She said, how do you like the show? I said I was very amused. She started throwing bass, I started throwing back mid-range. But when I sprung the question, she acted kind of strange. Because then when I asked, do you have a man? She tried to pretend. She said, no, I don't. I only have a friend. I said, come on, don't even give me that. Yo, buses, yo, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just you. You got what I need.
yeah.
But you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. So I took blah blah's word for it at this time. I thought just having a friend, it couldn't be no
There you
problem.
go.
I have friends, and that's a fact, like Agnes, Agatha, Jermaine, and Jack. Forget about that. Let's get into the story about a girl named blah, blah, blah that adored me. So we started talking, getting familiar, spending a lot of time so that we can build a relationship. For some understanding I was gonna be in the future we was planning. Everything sounded so dandy and sweet. I had no idea I was in for a treat. After this was established, everything was cool. The tour was over and she went back to school. But every time I called to see how she was doing, I called her on the phone and see something was brewing. I called the line and got picked up, and then I called again. I said, yo, who was that? Oh, he's just a friend. Come on. Don't even give me that shit. Who was this? Yo, you got what I need. Would you say he's just a friend? Would you say he's just a friend? Oh, baby, you got what I need. Would you say he's just a friend? Would you say he's just a friend?
Hey.
He's just your cousin.
Rest in peace, Biz Markie, Juice Crew.
You say he's just your cousin. That reminds me of a time when somebody said they were cousin-in-laws.
Oh, that's a classic, man. That's definitely a classic. Are you going to be doing that with the full band?
Yeah, we broke that one out last year for the first time at the Beaumont Blues and Roots Festival main stage, and we'll probably play that one. You know, during our live show, you know, we
Nice.
like you said, some of it's my fusion stuff, and some of it we'll break out some classics, and you know, we do It's Tricky by Run DMC, Funky Cole Medina by Tone Loc, like just the crowd favorites, the old rap classics that everybody loved, right?
Yeah, no, that's pretty hype, man. I definitely, you know, I used to get down to those songs,
That's
man.
dope.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you weren't doing the Running Man in the background there.
You used to kind of dance like Michael Jackson too when you were younger.
Yeah, that was
You're kinda
quite
deadly.
Okay, we have to see that right now.
Oh man, I forgot
Break
the
out the
moves, guys.
rhinestone glove.
I forgot the moves.
Yeah, he needs his rhinestone glove or it doesn't work.
I can choreograph for you. Crazy. So,
No,
okay, here's
yeah.
a question for you, Bill. What's it like
Yeah.
being a dad at 45? Like to a newborn.
You know what? This is a great question because I was scared, you know, because I was done. I had a surgery to make sure I was done having a baby 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and
You got some pretty good
lo and
swimmers.
behold, I had. No. Listen. I had to have a surgery and pay like a decent amount of money to have it reversed.
Oh,
And the odds of after having a vasectomy, we'll use the word, okay. After having that for like 10 years, the odds are very slim of being successful and having a baby. And I was when we found out we were pregnant, I was super scared. It was my wife who was always saying, you know what, it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be different. And she was right, because you know, with my other kids, I was younger, going through the struggle a lot more, you know, financially and this and that. And now, you know, now that a person's more stable mentally, you know what you know, you've already raised a whole bunch of kids, you are more set up and structured, and finances are a little better. So I'm finding it's way different. It's way more fun. It's keeping me young and keeping me on my toes, chasing a little guy that just started walking around, you know.
I can just imagine.
You can anytime you guys want to borrow one, you just let me know, hey?
Oh, I was just gonna say, you can have a baby anytime.
Yeah. No,
Not my
good.
swimmers, I mean a baby.
Oh, I don't want to borrow those for sure. I don't know where we got to that, but I don't want that. Okay, let's put that off the table, Bill.
I asked Trent. I said, like, probably about 4 or 5 years. I said, when are you gonna have a baby, Trent? When are you gonna have some kids? He's like, I think that ship has.
It has sailed.
Yeah. Well, you can always be the rich uncle instead of the broke dad now, right?
Yeah,
you go.
I'm married to my bass guitar. That's all I can say.
My kids need a rich uncle.
Yeah. So do my own nieces and nephews. That's awesome. Whew, sorry, I've been laughing lots here today. That's a good one.
I know
Yeah.
it's been a fun one for sure.
Yeah.
So what's what is the plan for what's the album? What's the direction of the next album? Is there a theme? Because we have Trent is coming out with an album and it's kind of directed towards homelessness, right? Trent type of thing. So we have different like themes, and then Chelsea's writing one as well, and we all have different themes. So what's your theme on this one?
I think my theme on this one is no more babies. I'm just joking. But
no more babies and don't get Bannock slapped, eh?
Yeah. And don't get Bannock slapped like Chris Rock. But so
You should write a song about getting a vasectomy for a second time.
you know what? Don't even say that, because my wife is trying to get me to do that, and I'm like, how many times do I need to be cut open down there? It's just
Yeah. Woo!
Oh.
But as for theme, haven't really thought of that yet. Like the sound on this next album is definitely going to be more, a little more of the country. So unique that it's a little bit.
It's a big secret.
Everything.
He
And
doesn't want anybody to
shout
know.
out to a big shout out to the guys in my band: Smokey, Fennel, James Anderson, Q Mike on drums, Daniel St. Pierre on the congos and bongos and percussion, as well as Mooka B on the bass. Without those guys, like I'd sound like absolute shit. So
I gotta send out a shout out to James Anderson too, because he played harp on one of my songs on my album, and he does a great job every time. So I haven't seen James in a long time because of the pandemic, but I hope he's doing good.
yeah, he's bouncing back and forth from Regina to Edmonton during the pandemic here. So, and he went off social media. He's now forever. He just was done with social media, and he likes it that way. So you gotta.
You'll have to get me his
go
contact info then,
and give
because
him the. I will. I'll do that.
yeah, awesome, man. Well, geez, what are we gonna do next, Bill?
Well, should we do one more song?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do one more song.
Yep.
Okay, we'll do one more song.
Yeah. Oh, you
Great,
didn't hear us.
let's
I think we're having some internet issues.
This one's called Broken and Torn.
Uh-oh.
I think you froze, Bill.
You froze,
Oh,
but
oh.
your feather didn't.
Okay. What
Oh,
was it
that's
breaking
so
up?
weird.
Am I there?
It's kind of cutting in and out. Let's see. There you go.
Good? Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
I've been down so long that I don't even know what it feels like to be up anymore. It's all gone so wrong. You get for what you wish for, bad, get all of this go. I'm broken and torn, and when my baby told me she was leaving, didn't believe her, till he went and watched her walk out and died. No, didn't even look back. How could she go and do that? As I was holding out for so much more. I've been down so long that I don't even know what it feels like to be up anymore. It's all gone so wrong. And get for what you wish for, back at all of this go. I'm broken and torn. When I woke up early that morning, a couple hours past dawn, the sun had finally started to shine. I put my dirty boots on, grinning, humming a new song. Hit the pavement with just enough time. Oh, you ever been down, ever been out? Few of you know what I'm talking about. Couldn't just leave it at that. It's a fact that our days have been filled with despair and doubt. Gotta look up, the sun on the rise. Look at the hate, fear, and the lies. Tomorrow's gonna be full of plenty happier days. Look at my eyes, it can't be this way forever. Get this through together, storming through the weather. Man, the days, they gotta get better. We'll all be sitting by the fire, poking embers, and remember, all that's lost, it ain't gone, cause I'm just broken and torn. I've been down so long that I don't even know what it feels like to be up anymore. It's all gone so wrong. And careful what you wish for, how bad can all of this go? I'm broken and torn.
Hey.
He just described the last week of my life. I was like, yeah.
Well, we're glad you showed up today.
Yeah.
Like, you scared
That
the
was
shit out of
cool.
me. I'm like, who the hell is coming into my house?
I saw feet coming in. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, someone's coming
I
in.
started to hear an echo too, so I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I looked up.
Surprise.
I wanted to crawl under the table and then pop up this way, but I saw the guitars.
Oh.
I was more worried
Yeah.
that she was going to get into an accident while she was driving on the feed.
I wasn't that far away.
That's awesome.
Well, it was great to have you on there, Relic, and you
Thank you.
I think we should all get together and write a song, maybe.
Yeah.
And have some fun that way. It'd be cool.
Let's talk about the nominations one more time before we let you go. You're nominated at
One last plug, yeah, sure. Nominated at the Native American Music Awards in Best Pop, Best R&B, Best Music Video Americana, and Best Music Video Live Performance. The image is up there. You can vote at namalive.com. You could go to nativeamericanmusicawards.com, but namalive.com also works. It's a little easier to remember. They take you to the same website. There's no sign up. It's literally a Survey Monkey form. So you take 2 minutes, scroll to the categories. I believe it's category 14 and 17 or something like that. But feel free to listen around and vote for your favorite artists in all the other categories. And thank you, Kinanas Compton. Hi. Thank you so much for having me on the show today and letting me play a few tunes and having some good laughs with you guys.
Man,
Sure.
thank you so much for hanging out. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's good to have an Edmonton artist on. We haven't had many
Yeah.
local people on lately because it's been mostly other provinces that have been talking with us. But thank you so much, man, for your time.
And I'll
Yeah,
see
thank
both you guys. I'll see all three of you guys at the River Cree for the Voices of the West showcase.
Yeah.
River Cree, April 16th. Are you the MC?
I don't think so. We are promoting it heavily, so I'm going to make sure I have you guys on my CFWE show in the next couple of weeks, so we can also promo that and get some people out
Let's
to that.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Down to
do
do
it.
it anytime. Yeah.
Yeah. And we want to send a shout out to Jared that we're getting excited to play this show. But Jared, if you're listening, I still haven't got the tickets in the mail, dude. So I can't sell any tickets if they don't get here. That's all I'm saying. All right, Relic, we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bud?
Eximaga, take care, guys.
Later, brother.
I know that guy. The guy who's been nominated. I know him.
Yeah. Now we can go vote for. Actually, I already did vote on the NAMIs. So
Yeah,
I did
get on
vote.
that.
I voted for Relic. I didn't want to tell him that I did because
Yeah.
I want him to guess. No.
Yeah.
So what's new?
Tell us how you've been there in Chelsea for
It's
the
our
last
first time
week.
for
Yeah. It's
in a
our
month
first
that
time
we've
in
been
the-
together.
Yeah, in the
I
same
think,
room.
yeah.
Well, the ADHD crap has been just chaos, a roller coaster, honestly. And then finally I decided, you know what? I want to make this public. I don't know if it was because medication was starting to, it was late at night. But see, I feel like I should be talking a lot more about ADHD and bringing light to it and trying to help people understand what it is that we actually go through, because a lot of us are just kind of really sucking at life, because a lot of people, they just don't get it. It's like you're
Mhm.
always late, or you seem to always have some excuse, or you know what I mean? Like I've
Mhm.
lost so many friends
Mhm.
and family, and just they just kind of like, because they don't understand, and it's been super super frustrating for me. But today when I woke up, like I was just having a good day. I started off a little bit grumpy, but as the day went on and just enjoying the sun, my my brother took me out to go and eat today. I was like, oh, thank you, like it's those little things. And
Mhm.
nobody, I don't know if anybody else ever feels like this with ADHD, but today the good day actually was like euphoric. It was like a like
Mm.
just total pure bliss, and I felt like I could fall in love today. I don't know, but it was just a really really good day today. And anybody out there who is dealing with ADHD, wait for days like this. Wait for days like this, because they're just, oh my, like I can't even describe like how amazing, or these days are like, they're like the best. And it almost feels like worth it to go through all the struggles and all, everything, and the reward at the end is just this bliss that I'm feeling. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Like I think, and it's really important to talk about, mental health, and especially with artists,
Yeah,
with
man.
us as musicians and stuff. When we put out our art, we're not always feeling the best, and sometimes we get healing from that. And so, like when you're going through this, like those days, what do you find gets you through that time? Like what gets you through those days and those moments where you're panicking and stuff, or feeling how you're feeling?
Well, for the most part, it's just a lot of just trying to embrace it, and not constantly just go against it, against that current,
Mm-hmm.
because then it just makes things a lot worse. So sometimes it looks like I'm just being lazy and doing nothing. I'm like, I don't want to clean. I'm not going to. I'm gonna let the kids just kind of do their own little thing here. Of course, I'll feed them as long as you're alive. I'll
Yeah.
be on like TikTok just to keep my brain
Mm-hmm.
from going into this weird dark place. And sometimes you just get like sucked in. And so what I have done is like find a funny video, or play a game on my phone, or do something for my kids to keep busy, so that I don't feel like so much guilt, because those moments, it's just the emotional dysregulation can be so overwhelming that the guilt is like, it weighs so heavy on you.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just come to this place where I'm like, no, no, I'm not gonna let this like completely, like drag on to the next day or the next day after. And even if it does, it's like, no, the plan is to like go and visit somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
let my kids go visit somewhere. I will Yesterday I sat in my car,
Yeah.
and wanted to take a nap, and I was like, and I just couldn't nap, but I sat outside in my car, and my kids were like right there with my mom, and that to me was that just helped,
Mm-hmm.
just to have those moments of silence, and that quiet and that calmness, and TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
just to
Mm-hmm.
keep distracted. And then when that moment passes, you're like, okay, I can do this. There's the breathing exercises, there's the moving around, just kind of keeping busy and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot, just to not let it completely consume you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of how I get through it.
Like I find myself, when I go through moments of anxiety and stuff, that's what I do as well as move.
Mhm.
It's just a part of my who I am, and I feel like if I don't like move, I feel like I feel more panicky, or it could
Yeah.
come on. I have a personality where I was always like hyper as a child as well. As an artist, dyslexic. So many different things I had to deal with, and uh, you know, I felt like what helps is yeah, breathing, calming down, and doing something that you really love, like music or singing, or working out, whatever it is. And Trent, you said you also have gone through.
Oh man, I've been experiencing anxiety since I was 19 years old. and I didn't know what it was then, and I used to deal with it by drinking, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it would be to the point where I couldn't shut my brain off, and I would go and walk around Red Deer from like 1 in the morning till 5 in the morning, just walk the streets just to move and not sit still and not think, right? Like, so that's how I dealt with it, just by walking, like I
Yeah.
could, like you said, I couldn't sit still.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what it was until like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have other ways of dealing with it. You try to eat right and exercise, but I also take medication, and
Yeah.
so it's a lot, because with anxiety there's also always, not always, but often, a backswing of depression too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and like you said, as artists, like when we're creating, we immerse ourselves in things. Like in the last month, all I concentrated on was my album.
Yeah.
And since it was done, like I did the last few things over the weekend, like I'm emotionally like completely drained. I've been like experiencing the depression cycle for the last few days, right? And it's really hard to get motivated. Like today I was at work and I wanted to leave at noon, but I pushed through it. You just gotta like just keep. And for me, in depression, it'll come out in different ways. Like I'll start to get sick to my stomach, and that's how I'll be like, oh, I don't feel good. But that's just your mind trying to take you out of a situation that you no longer want to be in, right? So it's like you just gotta find. Depression is hard. I'm lucky that I don't suffer heavy depression. It's just, it does hit me sometimes though. Like it's like a pendulum for me, right? I'll be fine. And then especially if I experience an anxiety attack, it can come back and I can go into like a depressive state for a week or something, but I'm usually able to knock myself out of it just by forcing myself to do stuff. And like you said, not wanting to clean or whatever. You saw the dishes when I came in. Like that's what it's been like the last few days, right? Like trying to force myself to do things, but it gets better. Like and you got to believe it gets better. Like there's good days and there's bad days. And I do believe that it's what helps me create art too, is these severe, emotional kind of things that go through. It's sometimes when my best writing comes out. So in a sick kind of way, you embrace it sometimes too, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
you look for those moments and you look to extract that pain or whatever. And
I think you can make beautiful art out of some pain, sometimes. And that's why, like, when people are feeling like, the feeling of a breakup or feelings of, what we're talking about right now, it comes out in something beautiful, whether it's writing a song or drawing a picture or, creating in some
making
way.
a video.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing a TikTok.
And, that's what we want to like tell the people, everybody watching it. It's just because we, have music videos and, we might be at award shows or these type of things. It doesn't mean that we don't get, depressed. We don't get those anxiety feelings. We're humans, and we're lucky to create and get opportunities to perform, but sometimes it definitely can hit anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
masking is I don't know if you've ever experienced that, where
what's up?
So I could be like freaking out so bad, anxiety and everything, and usually it kind of looks like this weird smile on my face, like and I'm like trying not to go hyperventilate and everything like that. It happens a lot actually during shows. I can become super, super overwhelmed by the crowd and going up there, and I'm like, can I do this? Like, am I even good anymore? Am I even relevant anymore? And these freaking thoughts, these intrusive thoughts just keep running really fast,
Yeah, it's
and
the
then
mind will not stop.
The masking part is just it's just on the outside, I look completely calm. On the outside, I look like I'm paying attention, but I'm having a really, really hard time even just remembering your name. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, did I hear your name? What was it again?
No, I don't remember.
Wait for somebody to say your name.
Yeah.
And everyone's always like, Chelsea, hi. I'm like, hello, you, hey. And it can be so nerve-wracking.
That's my method. Hey, you.
The masking, and it's, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I know what you mean, because I've suffering anxiety. You often don't want to appear weak.
Yeah,
especially in a professional setting. So I've definitely learned how to compose myself when it's coming on, leave a room and go do whatever I got to do to deal with it by myself, away from everybody, because, and that's just my own thing. I don't know if people would, care if I had my anxiety attack in front of them or not, but it's almost like this shame that you have in yourself, right? And you got to like take off and let your emotions come out and then come back. It's
I
tough.
think, like, honestly, with the masking thing, we almost do that a lot of times when we perform, because there's so many things that are going on that the people that are watching you don't see. The things that you're going through, those moments of weakness and all those things, and we're putting on that mask to be professional, but also you want to share some of that realness with the crowd, because they connect with who you are through it. And I think that's why you have such a good following, is because you're not afraid to talk about things that people connect to, whether it be weakness or whatever it is. And that's not a weakness. People look at it as a weakness, but it's not. I think it's a strength, to be able to talk about those things and help people through our art,
Yeah,
for sure.
I just want to be able to be like, hey, I'm in the public eye, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I go through these things too.
Yeah.
I have went through trauma. I've been through some crazy things in life. I lost 4 people in a span of a year and became pregnant during that time and still had to do shows. You know what I mean? Like, I still had to have that online presence. I still had to talk about what was going on, what I was feeling. And a lot of the times it was like, okay, how much do I put out there? How much is too much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but at the end of the day, it's like just be who you are, even if you look unhinged, you know. So many times I've seen that. A lot of people are telling me,
Unhinged song title.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I hear stuff, I gotta say it out loud.
There's probably a lot of things I can say about that.
Well, we got like 10 minutes left, and you haven't sang a song for a while. So why don't you sing a song?
We got this guitar here.
Okay.
And I'm
I don't
gonna
know if you need a capo.
I
There's a capo
don't
there.
think I've ever played this song. Okay, which one? Uh-oh. Right? Yeah.
You got her.
I've never played this, so let's give it a try. Don't need no copy of Vogue magazine. Don't need a dress like no beauty queen. High heels or sneakers, he don't give a damn. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. He never tells me I'm not good enough. Just gives me unconditional love. He loves me tender, he loves me mad. He loves me silly and he loves me sad. He's so pretty, he thinks I'm smart. Laughs to my nerve and he loves my heart. He's always saying he's my biggest fan. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. When there's dark clouds in my eyes, he just sits back and lets it roll on by. Coming like a lion, going like a lamb. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. He thinks I'm pretty, he thinks I'm smart. Loves my nerve, that he loves my heart. He's always saying he's my biggest fan. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. He thinks I'm pretty, he thinks I'm smart. Likes my nerve, and he loves my heart. Don't need no reason to change my plans. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am.
Good job. I haven't heard that song in a long time.
Nice. You got to sing another one. Hey.
You gotta do it too.
Aw,
You gotta do at least two, otherwise your fans will be mad at us.
Yeah, they said, geez, what happened? You totally cut her out. Hey, let's tell her what happened. We never said what happened. It wasn't the internet. We were actually sitting here playing Chelsea's song, and everything went out. The lights went out.
Yeah.
Everything. The
The
whole
power went out. My
Yeah.
neighbor upstairs, there's a way that if my coffee pot is on and he turns his microwave on, it kills the breaker down here in the basement suite, and all the power went out. So it was pitch black. And I went up there and we got it all going back up again. We queued your song up again, and he hit the microwave again, and it went out a second time. And I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Oh,
So
yeah.
it wasn't. And then we came on, and StreamYard wouldn't let us share it because we didn't have Google Chrome permission or something. It's just like that. The internet gods are not happy, and my neighbor, I guess. I don't know. So what's the next one, Chelsea?
I have no idea. I have no idea, actually.
How about, do you want to play the song that you were supposed to play? That we were supposed to play? What was it?
Ain't No Man? She's like, no, not really.
Not really, no.
No.
I wonder. No, I didn't. I don't actually have the lyrics for that. Oh,
How about Runway? No. I just want to get punched, I think. I know this song.
I'm not Will Smith. Okay. It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, we can light up the dark. Try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. Smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. All day long I can hear people talking out loud. old Mr. Webster could never define what's being said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me ever I fall. Now you say it best when you say nothing at all. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Hey.
Right on, right on. Well, it is 8 o'clock. Does anybody want to end with one? Or Kurt, you want
No.
to sing one to let us out? Or
I think we're
good to go?
We're good to go, man. That was
All
a good it was nice to talk about some of our truths tonight, bringing out, talking about our who we are, unhinged sometimes. And,
That's going to be Chelsea's new album, Unhinged.
Unhinged. Yeah, there you go. So everybody stay unhinged out there.
I call co-write.